Okay. All right. Thank you guys all for being here. So today we're going to talk about email marketing. I've been doing email marketing since I started, so about a year and a half ago, and I've been refining it since. So I send out about 6 pieces of email every month to my database. Now I have a really big database because I've been collecting emails since I was like 8. I know, super nerdy, but I've been collecting emails since I had an AOL account. No offense if you have an AOL account, but just to give you some context in terms of timing. So I have a really big database, and I highly suggest that you guys start collecting emails. At least people that you've had conversation with. Don't buy lists. Don't you have to have at least a conversation with these people, because if you email them and they mark you as spam, that's a problem. It's going to affect your domain reputation, and we're going to get into that. So I wanted to actually show you the pieces of content that I send out via email to my clients. Now, I send out 2 pieces of content right now. I send out a newsletter, a monthly newsletter, which is once a month, and I have a 34% open rate on that. Anything above 17 is good. Okay. And then I send out a deal of the week. That's once a week. So that's 4 emails in a month. That performs a little bit lower, 22% open rate, but I get 2 to 3 leads from that. So this is a testament to, it doesn't matter how big your database is. You can have 100 emails or you can have 1,000. It's all about the quality. Just because something performs a little lower doesn't mean that it will yield you less money. It could actually yield you more money. So 5 pieces of email every month. So I first want to show you my newsletter. Okay. Now remember, I've been refining this. It's already been 15 emails, 15 newsletters that I've sent out. So I've been refining it. So I'm going to show you my newsletter first. And I'm going to share in the chat now, I'm going to share the link to it so you guys can copy it if you want to. Of course, make it your own brand, make it your own colors, make it you. So let's do that here. So do you guys see my screen? Put a 1 in the chat if you see my screen. Okay. So this is my newsletter. I do it once a month. Now, the header changes back here, so it looks different. I don't want people in my email list seeing the same thing over and over again. I want them to know that it's different. So what I do is, here's what I do. This is what I'm thinking. Think about the olden days when you wake up on a Sunday and you're ready to have your coffee and you hear the thud on your door and it's a newspaper, and you grab that newspaper and you sit on your balcony in your yard or your porch or whatever and you read it, and the newsletter is broken up into sections, right? What sections you personally would you like to read? Everyone's going to be different. So that's what I decided to do. I was like, if I was going to get a Monday newsletter, what would I like to see in it? I don't want to see 100% real estate. I don't want to see just real estate just sold open. I don't want to see that. I want something that's going to enhance my month. So that's what I decided to do. So my newsletter starts out with a fact, something mind-blowing to catch them. Okay. And so this is my September newsletter. I wrote, September's mind-blowing fact is black apples exist. And that's actually the header, guys. The subject is not Gigi's September real estate newsletter. That's boring. No one's going to open that. And in fact, that's what everyone does. So you have to be different. The mind-blowing fact is actually the subject line on my email. And I've A/B tested this. I get way more opens when I do that. Okay. And then I do the traditional market data. Okay. Now this, you probably think I'm designing in Canva, which I can, but I'm not going to do that because that's time. And so what I do is I go to the market snapshot. We all have access to this if we pay our dues. You go to the market snapshot in miamirealtors.com and you go here to the Miami-Dade snapshot here. And what I do is I just take screenshots. I take screenshots of all this. I remove this over here so that it looks more branded to me, but I take screenshots of all this and then I paste it. I paste it into my email campaign. So that's what you see here. Okay. Then I add a trivia. And for this email, it's which country drinks the most beer per capita. Put something that's interesting, right? And then I put here, scroll to see the answers at the very bottom. Okay, why? Because I want them to scroll through the entire email. So I will put the answer at the very bottom. Remember that whoever you decide to use for your email, Constant Contact, MailChimp, even Chime, if you guys have Chime, you can send out your newsletter through there. Active Campaign is another one. They're going to track how long someone stays on your newsletter. And a really great way to do that is by having them scroll to the bottom. Okay. So I will put a trivia. Next thing is mortgage quick facts. Again, this is another screenshot from a website that I bookmark. Okay. When I'm ready to send out, I'll copy paste it. It's an image. It's not even text. It's an image. So I'll do the quick mortgage facts. So, oh my God, 7% in September. And now they're like 7.5%. Anyways, after that, I'll put the market information, which includes Bitcoin. Okay. Because my database is very young and they're all into that crypto. So I do this here. Then I will do activities for the month. And I try and be really cool about this. So I will do one for kids because I also have a lot of families in my database, and I will do one for adults. So I will split that up on the activities. So I will feature an activity of the month for adults if they want to do a date night. And then I will do an activity for if you have kids. Then I will feature a restaurant. I love to eat. I would want to see this in my quote unquote Sunday newsletter, right? So I will feature a restaurant. I will write a little bit about it. And I don't write this, guys. I go online, I copy paste it, and I put it here. This isn't a website. So you can't get in trouble really for plagiarism because it's not like it's found online. It's being sent to your database. If you want to change it up a little bit because you ate here and you want to give your own review, go for it. But for me, I'm trying to save time. I need this done quickly. I know it doesn't look like it's been done quickly, but for me, I have to get it done in less than 25 minutes. So I'll feature a restaurant of the month. I'll have it link out to Google. That way they can see the reviews and all of that. Same thing here. I will link out to the article that I got this information from. Okay. Then I will feature a house that I'm selling and I'll rotate through my listings. So every month I will rotate through all the listings that I have. So in this case, it's this one in the Redlands. All right. And I will write a brief description. I will do the highlights here. And this link links back to my website, the property on my website. So I get a lot of traffic. I get a lot of traffic to my website through my newsletter as well, which helps with SEO. That's a whole other topic. Okay. So it leads back to my website. Then this is where it gets personal. And this is where you come in. You as a person comes in. I love space. I love telescopes. I love all of that. I'm constantly following NASA on my Instagram and all that. So why not incorporate that for me? Maybe some people find it boring, but at the end of the day, the people that you attract are a lot like you. So feed them what you like, because potentially they'll like it too. So I will feature an image of the telescope, the James Webb Telescope. In this case, it's Saturn, and I'll write a little bit about it. To me, I think this is interesting. I would want to see that on my Sunday newspaper. So I'm putting it in my newsletter. After that, I will put an article related to something that I find interesting. It doesn't have to be tax related. I just found this interesting because student loans does. I can associate with this. I have student loans, so I can relate. So, and I found this article interesting. Sometimes it's about investing in real estate. A really great article that I found on it that I thought blew my mind. I would share that. So I would then follow it up with some sort of article, money article. Let's say that, whether it's taxes, real estate investing, anything like that. And then the last, I'll end with, I like the history of Miami too. I think that's really cool. I think it takes us back. So I will share something about Miami that's very, very old. So this is an image of the south side of A Street in Little Havana in 1971. And I'll just share that. And I think, again, that's interesting. And then the very last thing, remember, is the trivia answer to the trivia I had at the very top. And I will just say that. Okay. And that'll bring people to the very bottom. And that is my monthly newsletter. Okay. This is going to be difficult and time consuming the first time you do it. But from that point forward, you're just filling in the gaps. You're just dropping, copy, pasting. Every block is already there. So from that point forward, from the first time forward, is just clicking and dragging and filling in the spots and then sending out. Okay. So any questions so far about this?
When do you usually send?
Okay, I knew I was going to get asked that. So I use Constant Contact only because I've always used Constant Contact. They were the first ones to do this whole email marketing thing, and I was on it from the beginning. And to change everyone over and to add all my campaigns again and to do all these designs on another platform, it's going to be a mission. And I like Constant Contact. I think they're the best. But there are up and coming, like MailChimp, for example. Chime is also great. Active Campaign is also great. There are a lot of other companies that have come up since then that do the same thing. So it's not so much of the company you use. It has a lot to do with the actual email itself. So let's talk about that. Deliverability. That's important, right? The emails need to land in in the inbox. I mean, they're not going to always, because they're very strict nowadays. Even important emails for me land in my spam. Spam is the new inbox. You have to think of it like that, because those algorithms, they're getting very good and they might block an important email. And the same thing can happen for your newsletter. So how do you improve deliverability? So there are a few things. You have to have a healthy ratio between text and images. 70% text, 30% images. I think I'm like at 50-50. I'm working on getting better at that. It's just that the images I feel is really important. But the emails that perform better, believe it or not, guys, are the all text ones. As visually boring as you think they are, if someone is ready to either buy, sell, or rent or whatever, they're going to open it and they're going to read it. Another thing that helps with deliverability is the subject line. Don't put all caps. Stay very basic. Like it's literally this. This is my subject line. I don't put for sale with 10 exclamation points. Don't put deal in really big caps and then, with a bunch of emojis. All that is very spammy, and it's not even you. It's the other inbox. AOL is very strict. Gmail is very strict. They're all very strict. So you cannot seem spammy. So all lowercase letters, put uppercase where it belongs, like September. It's a proper noun. And then that should be your subject line. And no salesy words. Another thing that you guys are going to want to consider here. Someone wrote something. Where can we create it again? Any platform. So you can create on Canva and you can drag it over. But you can just create it on whatever platform you choose. Constant Contact has templates that you can use. This is blank. I started a blank one because that's just ridiculous that way. But they have preset templates that you can use and you can click and drag through that. So creating it would be any platform you use. Chime, Constant Contact, MailChimp, Active Campaign. There's a bunch now. Mailgun is another one. Okay, the last thing on deliverability. And this is going to change in the next few weeks because I just read an article on it. Personal emails. If you guys are using a Gmail for your personal email, like for example, Gigi Lopez Realtor at gmail.com, and you're using that email to market, to do email marketing, they're going to put you in spam. Sergio, I see you. Let me finish this part and then sorry, I don't know how long you had your hand up. I didn't even see that. You need a business email. So get a domain name. For example, mine is casacane.com. And I created an email for myself, gigi@casacane.com, or you can do info@ if you have a team or whatever. And that email is what you're going to have to send from so that you can start landing in spam inboxes and not spam. If you use your Gmail, you're going to land in spam a lot more often because the algorithm is going to see, hey, this is a personal email that's sending out business related content. So get yourself a domain name, tie an email to it, and start using that for your email marketing. Let me see. Sergio, can you Let me know.
Hey, Gigi.
Hey,
Hey, quick question. Have you ever tried using video in your newsletters? And if so, what are the results?
I haven't used video, and I was thinking about it until someone said something that made sense. And they told me when someone is in email mode and they're ready to read emails, they're not expecting a video. They're expecting text. So deliver it to them in a text format, text and image format. When someone goes on YouTube, they're mentally prepared already to watch a video. So anything that comes up that's video, they're okay watching. So same thing with a text message. Send a text, don't send. So I don't know. I would like to put video because I was thinking about it. But when I heard someone tell me this, it kind of made sense. Like when you're in email mode, when someone's in email mode, they're opened up their inbox and they're ready to read their email, deliver the content in email format. Same thing with a text, same thing with a video, same thing when you post on Instagram, deliver it don't write an email on your Instagram, right? That should be image and picture based because that's what the platform is for. So even this newsletter is a little risky because it's very image based. I am refining it. Like I said, this is a process. I'm just telling you everything that I'm learning. Natalia, this is a pretty cool. Is there a link so we can use? Yeah, I'm going to share a link here. I'm going to share my September newsletter right here in the chat. Oh, hang on. Nope, that is the Zoom link. Okay, copy, paste. All right, that is a direct link to my September newsletter. Sergio, did that answer your question? So yeah, I see.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, I do see, like, if you do a video on YouTube and you want to put it, I guess do it. Sure. Maybe do it at the end or maybe experiment with it. I don't know. It's a good question. But just what I was told by this email guru, it kind of resonated with me. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Let me just leave my videos somewhere else. So up
Yeah,
to
that
you.
makes sense. That makes sense.
Okay. Another thing on sending out the monthly newsletter. Remember, we're getting into another campaign that I'm doing, but the monthly newsletter. When does everyone send out a monthly newsletter? The first. That can fall on a Saturday. That can fall on a Sunday. And not just that, everyone else is sending their Monday newsletter. Everyone on Monday. So you're just going to bleed. There's a distraction there. I mean, you're going to be lost in 5, 8, 10 other monthly newsletters, right? So what I do is I will send out the first Tuesday of every month, whatever that might be. I think in October it was the 2nd. In September it was the 4th. So I will shift it based on a Tuesday because that is the time most people work on Tuesdays. It's the most active day from a business perspective. So I will send it on Tuesday because I know more than likely they're sitting at their computer. I send it at 8:30 in the morning before they start at 9 because that's when everyone checks their emails. That's when I send it. So let me continue. Let me see. Do you add your blog? I add. No, I don't add my blog. This blog article here that I write, if I end up writing a blog, I will put it here. But I find better articles and I'm okay with providing better information to someone that this doesn't come from me. I'm okay with that. But you can, let's say you write an article once a week, feature one of those on your blog, and that's a link back to your site. But the link back to my site is my listing. Okay, it's my listing. Or you keep it separate. I think I answered that question. Get your email campaigns in order for, yes, Roberto, you can do all this from Chime, by the way. You can create a blast email newsletter from Chime to your entire database if you use it. Do you do a Spanish one as well? I don't, because I wouldn't know how to do that. I mean, I can create 2 different emails, but how am I going to know? I have 25,000 emails in my database. How am I going to know who's Spanish and who isn't? I guess if you start fresh, then you can start tagging English, Spanish, and you can create 2, and then you can send out 2 different ones, but I don't know how to do that. So it's English for now. Do you send it segmented or the same one for my newsletter? Yes. Same one for everything. I have other segmented things in my CRM that are more specific, but today we're talking about an email you can send out to your entire database. Most people click translate on Google. That's a good point. That is true. And if it's text, it'll transform it. But if it's an image of text, it won't.
Hey,
All right.
hey, Gigi.
Yes.
Do you know if Constant Contact also records like if somebody forwards the email to somebody else, shares it?
Yes. So there is a section in your email campaign called click segmentation and click forwarding. And if you check that off, it'll track how many times it was forwarded. So MailChimp has this too. So, and I'm thinking a lot of them do too nowadays, because I think they all do that. So let me see what else I wanted to. So just to recap the newsletter before we move on to the next one, 34% open rate. I get about 3 to 5 conversations from this email every month. Now, some of them are people that are ready to buy and sell. Sure. Some of them are just questions, or some of them are just their conversations where I can then get out of them what their future plans are. And if they're ready to make a move in 3 to 6 months or 6 to 9 months or next year, I know exactly where to place them in my CRM, whether a hot, warm lead, and I'll follow up with them accordingly. So this whole newsletter is about raising a hand. It's not about direct business, although I have gotten direct business from it, but the majority of it, 90% of it, is just, hey, I'm here. I'm potentially interested. Now it's my job to put them in the right funnel and follow up with them accordingly. So it's just a little hand raise. That's what this is. And also brand awareness. So there's that too.
Gigi,
Yes.
sorry. Okay, so you received calls from the newsletter?
I don't know. I get calls. I don't know if they're coming from the newsletter. What I get are responses to the newsletter. So someone replies via email saying, hey, great information. I'm thinking about XYZ. Or this other lead, he responds to all of my emails. And he's this close to listing. And I'm just staying top of mind with that. So when I say raising hands, I say they're responding to my email. Even if it's like cool information, my kids and I are going to XYZ, I will just respond, oh, that's great to hear. And I will think about what I can say to, I wouldn't be this direct, but it would be something strategically in asking, what are your real estate plans? Do you know of anyone wanting to sell or buy real estate? It would be something like that in a more strategic way. It's different. I have to see what they send, and then I can personalize it to that. Okay. How do you get 25 emails in your database? Is everyone you have? Nope. So I don't know if you were here in the beginning, but I've been collecting emails since I was 8. 8 years old. I've been collecting emails, and I've had a lot of businesses. I've had a wedding photography business. I was a yoga teacher for a long time. So it's like 15 years of collecting emails. Now at the end of the training, I'm going to show you how you can like get 1,000 quickly. Okay. Just to kickstart your email list. So that's why it's more important, instead of 25,000 emails, look at the open rate. Because if, let's say you only have 100 emails, but you have a 34% open rate, that means 34 people opened up that email. So its percentages are more, you think more in terms of percentage versus the final number. And the more value you give, it doesn't matter about that audience. It doesn't matter that audience. Of course, the more you have, the better, but you don't need it. All right. So any questions about any more about the newsletter? Okay, so I'm going to move on to the second campaign.
Sorry, I do.
Yes.
Do you prepare all that yourself, or you have a VA or assistant or something to help you out prepare?
Now I have a VA. My VA has done it the last 2 months, but the entire 13 other monthly newsletters, I did it myself. And like I said, the first time is the difficult one, because you're organizing it, you're making it look pretty. And then from that point forward, you're just dropping, you're just clicking and dropping, and you have the whole month to prepare. So you can start building your email the whole month. Like, let's say you find the activity, just load the activity. Let's say you find that article, load the article. And then by the time the new month comes, you'll have it 70% done.
Perfect.
Okay. So the next email campaign I send out is a weekly one. All right. So hear me out. Okay. I've been experimenting with this for about 2 months, and it works 10 times better than my newsletter. I don't know why yet. Now, I chose this campaign because it's been A/B tested 1 million times. Okay. Across different industries, not just real estate. across service-based industries. A million A/B tests, that's hundreds of thousands of dollars. We don't have that money. I mean, maybe you do. Good for you. But I rather piggyback on that research than try and figure things out myself. So I wanted to implement it. And what it is a very basic deal of the week. Let me show that to you. Here it is. All right. No images, no links. I send this out on Wednesdays because for me, that's the most activity, Wednesdays. That's when I get the most. I've done that testing myself, right? Wednesdays for me is when I get the most open rates. So that's when I send it out. And what I do is I feature a deal. It doesn't have to be yours. You're not putting an image. You're not doing anything. So what it is the first line. It says this week's deal of the week. You cannot change the words, guys, because all of this was already tested for deliverability and open rates. So I know you're probably tempted to put your picture. I know you're probably tempted to put your logo. You're probably tempted to put your website. You want to change it up, make it look pretty. Don't, because the way that it's laid out exactly like this is what has been tested and refined. And I had those urges too. But when I saw the results, I'm like, man, this works. So today's deal of the week is a single family home in Kendall that will go fast. And what I'll do is 4 to 5 bullet points about it. Okay. 4 to 5 bullet points. Don't give too much away. I will put the price. And this line is very important. If you're interested, please reply and I'll get you all the details. Now, this has a lower open rate than my newsletter. My newsletter rate is 34%. This is 22%. However, this has given me more money, more listings, and more buying opportunities for buyers than the newsletter has. So you're being very vague. Okay. If you post all the pictures, they already have all the information. If you post a link back to your IDX website or Zillow or wherever, they already have the information. So why do they need to contact you? They don't need to contact you. They have everything that they need. But if you're vague, you'll get responses back. Now, I just want to show you the one I got last week. I mean, I can keep going back, but we're crunched on time. So let me just give you an example. I do this every Monday. I will pick a random listing from the MLS and I will post it. So let me show you here. This is last. So deal of the week, Kendall, deal of the week. This is the subject line. Very important too. Put the area. Don't put Miami. Be very specific with the neighborhood. Deal of the week. Remember, no caps. It's risky with the deal because algorithms might pick that up as spam, but it works. So it's been tested. So this is Jack looking for a condo townhouse, 3 to 4 bedrooms plus den, 2,500 square feet, open floor plan, preferably condo or townhouse with primary on main floor, built 22 plus. So 2020 plus. So new construction. His price point, guy, is $3.6 million. So he's flying in from Colombia in 2 weeks, and we're going to be looking at properties in that price range, all from a deal of the week for $680. $680,000. Sorry. So it doesn't have to pertain specifically to what the person is looking for, but if they know that you have deals, they're going to respond. So this is an example of that. And this was just last week. And I get 2 to 3 of these every week when I send them out. So let's say you don't have a database of 25,000. Let's say you have 1,000 or 500. Okay. So you're not getting 2 to 3, but maybe you get once a month. Maybe you get once a month as you build this. Think about it. $3.6 million sale once a month. I'm not complaining. I don't know about you guys, but I encourage you to do this every week. Pick a day of the week, pick a time, and dedicate yourself to doing this because this will bring you a lot of business. It's, again, another opportunity to bring your hands up, to raise your hand. Okay. Someone's raising their hand. Hey, tell me more about this. Well, what does that tell you? They're obviously in the market. Maybe it's not this specific house. Maybe it's another one, but they're obviously in the market. So what's important is that you guys are vague. Stick to just this. Take a screenshot of it if you want and stick just to this. Don't change it. Don't change it and see what that brings you. All right. Before we go, how do you build your email list? A quick way to do it right now. Okay. There's three things I want you guys to do that's going to build your email list. Number one, every single contact on your phone, export the email. Go on Google. If you have an iPhone or an Android, go on Google. How do I export emails from my phone? My contacts on my phone. Follow the instructions. That should give you a healthy email list. Okay. Number one. Number two, social media. You can do this yourself, or you can hire someone from Fiverr, Upwork, or whatever to go through all of your social media platform and download everyone's email. By the way, LinkedIn allows you to do it yourself. You're allowed to download every single email from any connection you have on LinkedIn. Just Google it. How do I download all my connection emails from LinkedIn? Do this for all your other platforms. That'll give you another healthy list. The last one, go to your email, whatever that is, Gmail, Outlook, whatever. Download every single email you've ever communicated with. Okay. Google that. How to download all emails from Gmail. That'll give you, you combine those three lists, and that is a healthy starting point for a good email list. Now, for my email list, there's only one thing I don't add, and that's realtors, because they're not the ones that are going to give me business. And they're probably just going to steal everything that I have no problem sharing it with you guys, but I don't want everyone doing this, all 80,000 realtors doing this. So I don't put, and it also adds as a contact to my constant contact. I want to keep it to only people that are buying or selling, also referral partners, because I did get an appointment with a probate lawyer from these emails. Oh my God, I love your email. Da, 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 da. And we scheduled a call, a meeting, an in-person meeting last week, and she's going to be giving me business. So the only people I won't add are realtors. Okay. Any other questions before we go?
This is all amazing, Gigi. Thank you so much.
Great, Jennifer.
That's what I was going to say, Gigi. Thank you so much for taking your time.
Yeah. No
Yeah,
worries,
absolutely, Gigi. I hear you, Christine. Thank you, Gigi.
You're
Taking the
welcome.
time today on a holiday. I see a bunch of people on here. Guys, get
holiday?
on the grind. Today's a great day to call, reach out to people, phone, dial out, cold calling. People are at home. Let's get it, man. There's opportunity out there, and we just got to go after it. And this email training was very good. Something even I myself got to get on.
Okay. All right, guys. Have a good Monday. Have a good week. Bye.
Thank you, Gigi.
Thank you.